Welcome to Flipping Miami, a podcast for those who want to learn real estate investing, do more, and make more. Now, here is your host, Raul Bolufe.
Guys, listen up, okay? This is one of the most important topics we can ever discuss when it comes to business, finance, etc. It's hustle. Hustle. What the hell does hustle mean, okay? So, you read books, you see videos, you're on YouTube, you're on Facebook, and you see people saying, I'm hustling, I'm working here, I'm getting deals, I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling, Rick Ross. We should put this on the background.
Every day I'm hustling.
Every day I'm hustling. What is hustle? So, I'm gonna go over today a couple things. I'm gonna go over what hustle is, the breakdown, okay, the way I break it down in 4 ways, and why you need it always and forever, and why hustle is the #1 reason for your success. So, let me get this. So, I looked this up, right? I looked up what does hustle mean in the dictionary. I was just curious. And hustle, what it means is to obtain by an energetic activity, okay? So that's what hustle means. Using energy, to obtain something using an energy and activity, right? And in the Urban Dictionary, I love this one. In the Urban Dictionary, hustle means to have the courage, confidence, self-belief, and self-determination to go out there and work it out until you find the opportunities for yourself. So, I love those definitions, okay? What I love is the Merriam-Webster definition that says hustle is obtaining something by energy. It's beautiful. Anyways, so let's jump into it, okay? This is the first thing that's broken down to. Hustle starts with belief, okay? Hustle starts with belief. And what do I mean by that? If you don't believe that something can be true, if you don't believe that something can be real, then there's no reason to hustle. There's no reason to go out of your comfort zone. There's no reason to keep going. There's no reason to even try. So step #1, and the way hustle breaks down, someone begins to hustle and start a business. Someone begins to hustle and change their job. Someone begins to hustle and sell something because they believe they can do it. Does that make sense? So Tony Robbins says it best. And I've been to Tony Robbins events, I've read his books, and I've seen videos. Guy's a beast. Anyways, so Tony Robbins said it best. It starts with potential, then there's action, then there's result, then there's belief. Or you can start this way as well. There's belief, then potential, and action. It's a quadrant, okay? So there's no like right or wrong. But let me go into this a little bit because it's key. It's so key. You believe you have potential, right? You start a new venture. You ask for the raise. You open up a business. You start to sell something online. You start an e-commerce store because you believe that you have potential to do it. Does that make sense? A student, has to believe, even a young kid in kindergarten, right? They have to believe that they're going to pass their little test. Little test because they're little kindergarten. But there has to be a potential factor there. There has to be potential they believe you can do it. So anyways, sorry to get off on a tangent, but so you gotta believe there's a potential. When you know there's potential, what you're gonna do is take action, right? Okay, I know I can sell that house. Okay, I know I can get that house under contract. Cool. So what do I do to have to get that house under contract? I have to take action. I have to send mail. I have to do cold calling. Then there's action. Then when there's action, you get a result. Oh, cool, I got that house under contract, or I didn't, I was really close, or I didn't sell that house, or I did. There's a result. And then after that result comes more belief. And it just goes full circle, okay, or full square, as you can see. So the way that the hustle breaks down, the reason somebody starts to hustle and changes their activity is because there's some kind of belief in them that they can do more. There's some kind of belief that they can amount to more, okay? When I started my journey, I was 21 years old, and I had the belief that I have potential to do more. I was working, I was selling cars, I was going to school, I was just kind of getting by. But I always knew that there was more for me. I had like this weird belief. I'm like, I know I can own property someday. I know I can be an entrepreneur someday. I know I can have a company someday. I know I can be on camera talking shit someday. That I had that weird belief. Maybe not the camera thing, but I had that belief, right? And then I knew that I had the potential. And what really successful people do is that they picture this before it even happens, right? So in your mind, you can see the potential in yourself. Like, okay, man, I'm a beast. Man, I had a good upbringing. Or man, I've been through so much that I know I have the potential to overcome this and get through and fight and sell, make money, make more, increase the wealth of myself and for my family. Potential. Then they see themselves taking action. Cool. All right, I know I have the potential, so what do I have to do? Okay, man, I picture myself going out there and knocking on doors and working till nighttime until I get my first deal, make my $20,000 result. Then when you get the result, man, if I can do it once, I can do it again and again and again and again and again and again and again. Right? So Tony Robbins has a really good video about this. I would encourage you guys to watch it. Just search up, belief quadrant or something. I'll put a link below. But so what does this mean? Why did I put this up here? Why is belief broken down from hustle? It's the first thing that you gotta have. The answer to all this is to take massive action. I put here take action, but I should have put take massive action. Okay, massive action. So you gotta believe you have potential, take massive action, and you'll get all these things, right? Action is there. Awesome. What's next? Energy. You heard the definition. To acquire or obtain something through energy. Okay? I heard this in a podcast the other day. And think of the last two presidents. We got Donald Trump and we have Obama. Whether you like them or not, doesn't matter. It's not the point of this. The point is who they were up against. Donald Trump had more energy than his opponent, and so did Obama, right? McCain, Biden. No offense to those guys. I think those guys are great. They're really smart people. Donald Trump had more energy. Obama had more energy. Whether the energy was laughing, whether the energy was, speaking and getting people engaged, or whether the energy was shaking more people's hands and taking pictures and traveling along the world, they had more energy. What does energy mean? And how do you get energy, right? Energy is something, you gotta picture it, that energy is not something that's like just given to you. Energy is something you create. Think of like an energy plant, an energy like factory, whatever. And it's something that's created, right? Through motion. In our body, energy is created through the physical motion first, right? Tony Robbins talks about this as well. You gotta change your state, you gotta change, you gotta move, and that's how you get energy. I'm sure all of you guys, you start working out, and you're done working out, and you have like this weird energy, right? Even if you're tired, you have energy because you have to create that energy. Anyways, that's for the physical body. Now, what is energy I'm really talking about? The energy I'm talking about is to hustle, right? We want to understand what hustle is and how to do it. This energy, you need energy to go hustle, right? You need to wake up at 7 a.m. and you got to go knock on doors. You got to make 100 calls a day. You got to go out there and make offers. You got to, whatever you want to do in your business, in your life. And energy is fueled by mission, purpose, and big goals. Okay? If you don't have these three things, you're going to have a really hard time getting energy. Okay? And, these are all really big subjects that we can go on and on forever. But, however you want to figure these things out, however you want to research these, that's fine. And I think I actually have another video that's like a 16-minute video that I go in depth about it. I'll put a link also there, or at the end of the video, you see a thing. It's me talking in like a, little coffee shop or something, and I go over it. Anyways, mission, purpose, and driven by big goals. Okay, Grant Cardone talks about big goals. He's probably the best in the world at explaining why big goals work, 10x, all that shit. All that shit's real. Whether you believe it or not, it's real. If in your mind you're thinking 10 steps ahead, if in your mind you're thinking 10 times bigger, you're gonna have a bigger mission, a bigger purpose. You're gonna have energy to get up in the mornings and to fulfill these things. Now, you can set a 10x goal right now. You can write it down on a piece of paper, and you won't go do it and achieve it. You know why? because you don't believe that shit. So that's why that's step number 1. You gotta believe that shit. And these will give you the energy to get up, go out there and crush it and crush your goals and do whatever it takes to get there, right? Get a mission, get a purpose. It can be anything, you know. When I first started, I didn't really have one, okay? My mission, my purpose was to just go out there, start a business of my own that's pretty cool, and make $100,000 a year. My first year I made $166,000, and then that's when I started getting more mission and purpose driven. I'm like, all right, cool. I fulfilled my monetary goal. Now what else? Oh, cool. I want to bring people on. I want to have a team that's, you know, that inspires me. I want to be able to make enough money so that I can have passive income. So I don't have to work as hard and maybe do bigger projects so I can help more people, get on camera, employ more people so they can feed their families, etc., right? But you don't have to go, this does not have to be perfect, right? The biggest thing I would focus on is this big goals. The mission and purpose doesn't have to be perfect. You just need something, right? Something to chase after, right? Next, sales. Hustle. I always think of hustle and I relate it to sales. Who doesn't, right? You think of hustle, you think of somebody like, hey, you know, like someone sketchy selling hot dogs in New York, or maybe like some kind of drug dealer or something. I always think of some kind of sell. And the way I broke it down is there's 2 steps. 2 steps to the sales part of hustle. Number 1 is sell yourself. And what does that mean? And that's really similar to kind of the belief system, right? You have to believe in yourself. But the reason I say that is you have to sell yourself that you can do it. You have to sell yourself on the product, on your service, on what you're trying to achieve. If you're even, let's say you're not starting a business, say you want to raise, you gotta sell yourself that you're worth it. So that's part of hustle. You gotta sell yourself. You gotta sell what's in here to then go out there and fucking crush it, okay? And then step 2 is do step 1 every day. So there's 3 steps. Step 1, sell yourself. Step 2, do step 1 every day. And step 3 is learn and execute. And then right here, do not learn too much. That might be contradictory. That might be a contradiction from what you've heard with other people. I don't want you to learn so much. I want you to learn enough to sell one thing, one service, get one contract, sell one house, you know, sell one pair of shoes, you know, enough to have that meeting with your boss. 1. Don't learn so much. Just learn enough to do 1. Once you do 1, the rest is gravy. The rest will come. So, really important. Sell yourself. Do step 1, which is sell yourself every day. That never stops. Every day you have to wake up. That's why affirmations exist. You're selling yourself on that vision. You're selling yourself on the belief. You get it? Sales, okay? Sales is not some sleazy thing. Get that out of your mind. That's been proven wrong 100 times, right? You know, read Grant's book. Read Never Split the Difference. They talk about sales and how important it is. And really, sales and entrepreneurs and marketers are the people who change the world. People who change the world. So you have to get really good at selling yourself and then get really good at learning what it is you're going to sell, the product, the service, and execute. Just learn to do 1. Don't study everything. Just go out there and learn and do it. Now, these are my 3 things how I break down hustle. And I wanted to add this in here because I think it's important. If you want to be a hustler and always be wealthy and always have a future, this is the key right here. Commit. And I know this all sounds like some hoorah shit, and that's the reason I'm trying to put it into context as far as like offers, contracts, you know, doing deals, selling shoes, whatever you do, selling cars. I want to put it into context because although it is, you know, this like woo-woo thing, if you don't believe in it and if you don't find it important, you're going to be left behind by people like me, by people like Tony Robbins, by people like Grant Cardone, who do this shit, man, and who teach this stuff. So I suggest you give it a try. Even if you don't believe in it, give it a try. What do you have to lose? Commit. Okay, so, man, commit. What can I say? The word says it all. Commit. So, commit to figuring it out. How much you have to hustle to make it work. Okay, so there's so many challenges that are gonna happen. You can get these 3 steps right. You can start your business. You can start making money. You can become a millionaire your first year. You can become a millionaire in your second year. You can become a millionaire in 2 days. Won't happen, but you can become a millionaire in 2 days. And if you're not committed to figuring it out, if you're not committed to all this all the time, guaranteed you will end up broke, or you will end up with nothing. Think of the ball players, think of football players, think of Mike Tyson. Think of these guys who, they were committed. They believed, they had energy, they sold themselves, they did boxing, they played football, they played basketball, but they weren't committed to their well-being. They weren't committed to always learning. They weren't committed to figuring out what it takes to always be rich, what it takes to always be wealthy, what it takes to always have wealth for your family and yourself. So it's so key that you commit to figuring it out all the time. And figuring it out is a term I love, and I think every entrepreneur understands this. Every entrepreneur that's actually doing something understands this figure it out thing. And I think it's something it's little by little getting lost because technology it doesn't allow us to think critically about things. That's why I actually encourage students to take classes such as calculus and hard maths, because you have to figure things out. It's not very straightforward. Anyways, you have to commit to figuring it out to make it work, okay? There's gonna be problems, there's gonna be challenges, there's gonna be hurdles. You're gonna have a deal, you're gonna get under contract, you're gonna believe, you're gonna start. You're gonna make 100 cold calls the first day because you got energy, you got mission purpose, you're gonna do it. You're gonna be good at sales, so you're gonna get that deal on the contract. You're gonna sell it for a $20,000 profit. You're gonna go 1 week before closing and the buyer says, hey, I don't have funds. My lender doesn't want to lend on it anymore. The seller's gonna call you and say, hey, I don't want to do the deal. Someone else offered me more. And if you don't commit to figuring it out, you're fucked. You're dead in the water. Understand? I wish I could hear you guys talk back. But anyways, you're dead in the water, so you gotta be committed. You gotta be committed. Again, why is this important? Why is hustle that important? Why did you do this video? There's just, I like to simplify things. I like to get complex things and simplify it. Although hustle is such a small word, couple letters, and a small definition, it has such a complexity out there in the world. There's hustle in every book. There's hustle in every video. People are arguing, should you hustle? Work smart versus work hard. Stop hustling, you should be doing this, and stop hustling, you should be, sitting on a computer. It's all accurate. But what they don't understand is that the successful people do hustle. Some hustle smarter, some hustle harder. Doesn't matter. They all understand these principles. They all understand what this is. And they all do it. So, take a deep breath. Hustle, get your hustle on, man. Focus, guys. Believe, energy, sales, commit. I love you guys. I will see you in another video soon. If you love this shit, if you don't, if you don't, you don't have to subscribe, but subscribe if you want to see more. I will be coming out with more content. If there's anything you want me to talk about, I am really good at real estate wholesale. I'm good at figuring it out. So anything you guys kind of throw my way, I will have a response. It might not be the best, but I'll have a response. So comment, I'm always looking at my comments. Subscribe, guys. Anything you want to see, check us out. Reach out to us. You can schedule a call with me for 15 minutes just to talk some shit. And namaste, guys. Peace. Love you guys.